Good morning, everyone. Well, before I yell roll tide and we bring in Randall Hackworth, business development lead with Wade Trim, I think James and I need to give a little spotlight to these awesome mugs. I don't know if it's just me or not, but I think the coffee tastes a little bit better. James, my partner in crime, what do you think?
I won't lie, it's a little weird drinking coffee out of a mug with your face on it, but it is awesome. I guess it's a good time as anyone to let everybody know that we'll also be sending out coffee mugs to all of our past guests and also our current guests. So if you join us on Coffee with Jim and James, expect that super classy mug to be sipping your morning kickstart out of. So poor Randall, man, just sitting over there, barely even on the show. He's playing second fiddle to our coffee mug excitement. Randall, how's it feel to be overshadowed by drinkware?
Pretty good. Here, let's cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
How are you?
I'm good. Good. Just hanging out, enjoying the quarantine.
Yeah. We went from seeing each other what it seemed like every month at shows and conferences to now it's been quite a stretch of absence. So I'm hoping we can all get together soon and get back into the swing of things.
Absolutely. Boy, these videos add weight to you. I don't think I've gained that much weight, but
I got the COVID-19 over here.
Yeah.
COVID-15.
Mine's 19.
Well, Randall joins us today. He, I could say he's a long-term industry friend. He's not just an industry friend, he's a great friend to us. Randall and I first met in 2009 in New Orleans. We've known each other for many years. He was actually, I hired him as vice president of business development a few years prior to Energy WorldNet. So we actually worked together professionally. He is with the organization Wade Trim. And we're really excited to have him on here today. So Randall, I'm going to hand it over to you. You can fill in any of the missing pieces that I didn't hit on and take it away, my friend.
Sure. Thank you. And appreciate you guys allowing me to grace your screens with you. But just say really quickly, Wade Trim is a civil engineering firm. It's a national firm in about 25 locations throughout the country. I give it a good average at that. And but we do have a pipeline, energy pipeline group, and that's who I focus my energies with. And so excited to be here, excited to talk about the subject matter we've been discussing and kind of bring it into the pipeline sector and go from there. But thanks again for having me.
Awesome. Randall, tell us a little bit about what you're excited about this morning. We talked a little bit, before about infrastructure stimulus. You want to just dive in, man. Fill our listeners in on it.
Absolutely. Well, I'm most excited that they're starting to open the economy back up. So I think that's fantastic. I think we can all be careful and do the things that we need to do to stay safe and get the economy going again. It needs to happen. So I'm pro that, absolutely. But what I wanted to talk a little bit about was the infrastructure stimulus that they've been having discussions on. And when I say they, that's Congress and President Trump. And I know they'll model it a little bit after what was put out in 2009, which was called the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. And it's all about being shovel ready, and it's going to focus on roads and bridges, infrastructure like that. A lot of it went to railroads or railroad projects back in 10 years ago, but we'll see what happens. And you're probably going, well, how does it affect us? Well, for my firm, we do a lot of civil work, of course, and so that's right in our wheelhouse. But from the pipeline perspective, I see some a byproduct of that, which is we'll call it just the relocation aspect, and we can talk about that in a minute.
Hey, Randall, so let's talk about the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. So are you saying that there's still money out there and that there's really, I guess it surprises me to think that we're still possibly working off projects or or there's money still being allocated out of that act. And I know Trump had talked about it at some of his platform for reelection, and even before that, for his initial election, are they looking to use some of that money to build a new stimulus package? Talk a little bit on that for us.
Well, my understanding is they're going to come out with a whole new piece of legislation that'll focus on the amount of about $2 trillion. And so I can imagine that you're just the states and cities, municipal systems are going to have their projects in line and ready to go, because the key is that shovel ready. They're going to want to get people hired and money changing hands as quickly as they can make it happen, and know exactly where it's going, because it's all going to be about transparency and knowing where this money went, how it was spent, et cetera, and being able to answer questions for it. So shovel ready is the key. And I guess that's probably a good question. A good question there is to answer, what is shovel ready? And I'll read it.
Please.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Tell us a little bit about shovel ready.
So shovel ready is a phrase used to describe a construction project that is considered to be at an advanced enough stage of development for building to begin soon. So, that means, let's think about it from a pipeline perspective. You would think that permitting is done, survey is already in place, and probably all bid packages out and selected, and everything's ready to go, and design's there too. And then it's just a matter of going, boom, we got the money, let's award it and start rolling. So, they want to break ground as quickly as possible. That's the layman's explanation. So, but it works.
And that's
got to get it rolling.
And that's good, because that helps me, and I'm sure it's going to help our viewers too, just to understand that a little bit more. And when you look at understanding more of the act, you've definitely opened up my eyes to a little bit of, becoming consciously competent over that subject matter. So I greatly appreciate that. Let me ask you a question though. Are there next steps that you're doing, the industry is doing, to get in the mix of this? I mean, what do we do?
Yeah, as a company, and before I go into that, as a company, I'll just go into that. As a company, what we did is all the management of our company, or the leadership of our company, asked all employees to correspond with their congressional representation for state. And we're in numerous states, and so you have multiple employees sending to all their various representatives. I sent it to 3 different people, 2 senators and 1 House member, and 2 of them responded. Still waiting on 1 to respond. But the key is, and I think everybody else should be doing the same thing, is that push them to get this done, to work together to get it done. The other thing is to work with the associations to make sure that they're educated. And when I say that, because I'm going to focus on gas and gas associations, to make sure, the membership's educated on what's next for them also. Because if typically in this scenario, let's say they're going to build a new road and they're going to widen it, you may have a relocation problem there. And if it's a municipal system, they got to pay that. If their pipeline's in the public right of way, that comes out of their pocket. So they got to figure out a way to get that paid for. Is there a way to get a set aside of that money for those types of scenarios? So there's going to have to be a lot of interaction between our representation as an industry with Congress to make sure that kind of thing happens. And, another thing is to think about is just kind of communicating when we know there's a project coming. Once they pass this, is to communicate between where that project's going and who your client and who your or prospect is, to make sure they know what's coming up. It's a way to save them money, cost, and headache. So that's our plan. With everywhere that we're located, there's quite a few people that we can do that, at least provide that information. So that's the goal.
That's
so
awesome.
I think it's a good opportunity for the country to get people back to work. I just hope that they can set aside enough differences, because it's just so heavy right now, that they can move this forward, because it's going to be good for the country. This is one of the things that I think we really need, and I think everybody would agree with that. Roads, interstate systems are terrible. Lots of roads, highways, et cetera, need help. Bridges especially. So
Absolutely. And I was going to mention the same thing, Randall. I think in a time where we're seeing unprecedented unemployment and we're worried about how we're going to get America kickstarted back, what better way to do it with a huge stimulus package to help our infrastructure? So, Randall, you've been an awesome guest. You've helped us understand really a lot of this, and even though you speak, on the civil side, that byproduct of the pipeline work that could come from this and should come from this, and really how we can get involved as an industry, as whether it be the committees we sit on at associations, whether it be the boards we sit on, whatever it might be, our groups that we can touch, within our own companies to help, really push this initiative forward, I think is what we got to do. And I can tell there's a bird somewhere behind you that absolutely agrees that we should do these things as well. But
I've got about 4 hawks that live around me, so they're always hunting. Hey, did I earn a cup, though? Did I earn a cup?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you definitely earned a cup.
You did, man. It's on its way. Well, hey, Randall, you're a bad dude, man. I'm friends with Randall on Facebook, and I've seen he's been doing this burpee challenge. I was hoping he'd do a few more for us. All the while I'm sitting here watching him do it on video, and I'm eating quarantine snacks. But we appreciate everything you're doing. You're definitely a thought leader in our industry. We appreciate you informing everybody about the Recovery and Reinvestment Act and what's to come, right? We are an industry, I believe, that feels like we're shovel ready. And to understand there's a little bit more that goes into shovel ready is important. So thanks again for coming on. We appreciate you. Jimmy, always a pleasure, brother.
Always, my friend. Always. We are thick and thin, you and I are. So
So now we got a third one, man. Randall's in there with us too. So for anyone that would like to join us and hey, get a free mug out of the deal as well. Come share the spotlight with Jim and I. We'd love to talk with you. Reach out, connect with any of us. If you have any questions for Randall or anyone at Wade Trim, or any questions about the stimulus stuff, I know Randall will be happy to answer. He can help you get involved. So
Absolutely.
So connect with everyone. Again, as we always say, we are blessed to be here. We are blessed to be in this industry. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon.
be safe. Be safe, everyone.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day.
You too.